The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
And welcome to the Writer's Block Podcast. I'm Mandra Biscornet, and I believe everyone has a story to tell. What's yours?
Deborah Monk, empowering you to find your creative voice.
And Shelly Devlin, helping you find your why. We are streaming live on this Tuesday morning on Facebook from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. Last time on the Writer's Block, we welcomed author Brian Casey and discussed his book, Good Cop, Good Cop, a health and wellness book written specifically for law enforcement. Today, however, we're going to shift gears and hear all about Shelly's experience at the Right on the Beach retreat, which was hosted by the Rewired Creatives team that includes Dawn Reno Langley, a writing coach and editor, John Obermeyer, and Carolyn Burns Bass. So, Shell,
it was amazing.
Tell us
First
all
of all,
about it.
Okay, so writing retreat, right?
Yes.
Exactly what it says. Exactly.
And
retreat.
Where was it? Set us up.
Topsail Island, North Carolina.
Nice.
So Shelly boards a plane. First of all, I get to the
Shelly, now she's
boards
speaking
a
third
plane,
person.
Right? I get to the airport. I wonder why I can't read my confirmation number is because I forgot my glasses at home. How do you forget your glasses on a writing retreat?
Yeah, that's going to be important.
Well, you're not going on a reading retreat, in fairness.
Well, I can't see to write, Jonathan.
She's going to have to do it the Braille method.
Overrated.
So everybody thought that my glasses were my glasses because I found the funkiest pair of blue glasses in the airport gift shop, and that's what I sported for the entire weekend.
Great.
So landing in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I had 3 hours to kill, so I found a coffee shop with internet. I set up my whole writing office. Felt like I was like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Somebody wicked fancy.
With your new blue glasses.
With my new blue glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And you
I had
have
my
to
phone,
tell.
had my coffee.
But you went into your room with your camera. I don't know, did you text me or no, you called me?
So she picks me up and we get to the beach house and I videoed
Yeah, she walked
myself
into a
walking
stunning room.
through the room that I had chosen for this retreat, which apparently was like the suite.
The penthouse?
The penthouse. It was the penthouse. You know, a giant, I had to like get a running start to jump up into the bed. It had sliders that overlooked
four-poster.
Topsail Island.
Oh, beautiful.
The bathroom was big enough for all three of us.
We should have gone.
I know, we really
seriously,
should have.
you should have gone.
So what is the process like on a writing retreat? Do
Oh,
they...
wait, we want
wait.
to talk about the linens.
Did
No.
you... Wait. Did you have to send anything
Too many
ahead
questions.
of time?
So Dawn Reno
How did that
Langley
work?
is my editor.
Okay.
I have been working with her for a year, and I have
Yep.
never met her. So this is the first time I met her face to face.
Yep.
She's my new BFF. Sorry, Deb, but you're still
that
still
hurts.
BFF.
Let me get
Okay.
the
But
knife
you know,
out.
I know, right?
She's
Pull it
a
up, pull
little,
it up.
she's second tier.
A retreat is that you shut the world off. So there is no laundry, there is no dishes, there is no work, there's no cooking, there's no cleaning.
You didn't have to do any of that.
All inclusive. They cooked for us.
Nice.
We got together for breakfast every morning. We had a 1 hour.
So they took all those excuses right out of the way,
Yes.
right? Because
I mean, you still had your phone. So, of course, if
Yeah.
your phone was ringing, your phone was ringing. But no, it was amazing.
Well, and the thing that I found interesting, which I've never really been aware of, I've certainly taken plenty of writing courses and workshops and classes, but it was literally, they wrote.
So,
wrote,
Deb,
yeah.
apparently this is what
Imagine
writers
that.
do. Like,
You
they
wrote on a
schedule retreats once or twice a year.
To
all
get
three
the
of them,
writing done.
To get their writing done. Because life does get in the way.
And so they were writing as well. They weren't.
They were not writing.
they were
that
doing the
weekend.
laundry
Right.
and the cooking
Yeah.
so that the
Correct.
others could write.
Correct.
So you didn't have to send anything ahead of time because the purpose was to carve out time for
If you
writing?
weren't working with these mentors currently,
Yeah.
then yes, you were to send 25 pages.
I see. Okay.
And then you would work with that. There were 5 guests there. So there was 8 of us all together. We fit around the dining room table.
That's a nice
They
small
cooked
group.
us dinner and wine every night, and then we took a walk on the beach. But the house was silent during the day. That was the rules.
Yeah,
You could
see-
write wherever you wanted, but silence in the house.
Yeah, I've never been to one of those.
Well, all
great.
3 of them say that they book them either once or twice a year.
And the three of them do it together?
The three of them, no, not together.
Oh.
Not together.
On
They
their
go
own.
off and running. There's
on their own.
on their own and do these writing retreats. There's other retreats in the mountains in Asheville, North Carolina that they go to. There's all of these places
people
that are
can
actual
find
retreats.
these.
Yes,
So
writing
go
retreats.
And
Was there a writing class of any kind? Were there writing drills?
On Friday, we had 1 hour. We got there on Thursday, and on Friday, we had 1 hour mentor sessions to work on our work. And then we were off and running. They were always available to ask questions if we got stuck. I definitely learned about the writer's block. I got it one day because on Saturday, we had marketing
it's
and
like a brand new
publishing.
thing for her. I actually got that.
I got that. I had two things
never had
happen.
that before.
One, I felt like Deb, but so you get together, you do your writing. Saturday was all about publishing and marketing. So on Saturday afternoon, I couldn't write because my head was already swirling with how my launch party was going to go, what was going to happen at the book signings, who was going to market, and all of these things. So
what did you
it took
find
me a minute.
out during that class, during that session?
Oh, during that class?
Yeah.
I found out that, in the salon business, I'm always listening to motivational speakers through the years, and I've been doing that for over 30 years. Zig Zigler. Do we know Zig Zigler, Jonathan?
Familiar.
The most amazing motivational speaker. And what I found out that he did all of his guest speaking engagements, he was huge. He did them for free. And he sold his books. And I was like, he's like a mentor in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God. He did speaking engagements for nothing and then sold his
And
books
sold the
because he was
books.
confident. After that conversation, everyone in that group
Room
was
was gonna
going
buy.
to buy his books.
Okay.
If not then, when?
Right?
Right. They're
The
right
other
there.
thing I learned is commercial versus traditional. I did not know that the original 50 Shades of Grey was self-published.
Yes.
I was like, well, that's fancy.
I know.
And look at that went crazy, right?
Yes.
Yep. So you can be self-published. So the differences that we've talked about before, traditional versus self-published, the launch parties, reviews, that you need reviews on your book. I started
Yeah.
looking that up on this. People have thousands of reviews on their book, which is another plus that you need to have. Keywords in your Amazon boxes
Yeah.
on how people will find you and making the keywords not so narrowed in to what your
Right.
subject is so that you capture those people as well.
Right.
But it was nonstop around the table. I mean, we probably could have gone all day.
And was that done by the Rewired Creatives
Yes.
folks as well? Those
yes,
three
all three of them
presented
Yep.
that.
They all had their specialties
Yep.
and what they do. So, yeah, they shared all of that, all of the marketing, all of the publishing. And now you have those three people. I already have Dawn because she's my editor, but now I have two other people in my
Right,
network
part of your
that I
network.
now can
Reach out to.
reach out to anytime at all.
Great.
So what I got accomplished, don't hold on to your seats, Jonathan, don't fall over. Ready?
I promise.
I learned one thing. Deb has said to us before, she's written stuff, we've edited, and we've said, Deb, you could move this or how you said this. And she leans over, she goes, did I write that? And I'm always amazed that she doesn't remember what she wrote.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened after I did the writer's block. I kept going out to Dawn saying, it's not working. Nothing. Sitting at the keyboard, nothing's coming out of my fingertips. Did that like 3 times, took a walk on the beach, came back, and like lightning was coming out of my fingertips. I banged out 13 pages
Nice.
Which is a
within
lot.
an hour.
Yeah.
I went back to reread, did not remember writing paragraphs that were good.
So you went back
awesome.
and read those 13
I went back
pages?
and read
or
the
something
13 pages,
And even
got
in that-
done, like literally immediately.
And you went, yeah.
And went back and was like, it was like a poltergeist had taken over because
Yes.
I did not remember writing. I'm like, whoa,
You were in
shit,
the
that paragraph's
zone.
amazing.
right.
And
Isn't that
did not
awesome?
remember. So
We need a pill.
ready? How many chapters did I get done that weekend in 4 days? 7 chapters.
Nice, Shell.
Yay, Shelly.
7
So
chapters.
by my count, you're up to 7 chapters.
No, I am over 15 chapters now.
That's a lot of chapters.
Yes.
Tell me about, we got an image, we got a picture of like a string of Post-it notes with this beautiful ocean view.
Because they were on the sliding glass door that was
Yes.
overlooking the
Yeah,
ocean.
that was a great
Yes.
picture.
The other thing is they were very neat.
And
Like they were placed.
Yes. They were large too.
Mine
So
would've
that
been
was something
slapped
I
up all
learned
over the
about
window.
building a storyboard with Post-its. ironically, my view was of the ocean, and where I could stick my Post-its was on that sliding door. So what she had taught me, and Deb and I have talked about this before, but for some reason, sorry, Deb, but
That's
sometimes
okay.
when the second person says it in a slightly different words, like a light bulb goes off, it was each chapter was on the Post-it. The amount of pages each chapter was, so that you can have some consistency with the amount of pages that you're doing. Also, there was a smaller Post-it on the Post-it that was is this story sad? I have a lot of cancer chapters and different things standing behind the chair as the chair turns. So there is chapters that are sad. You can't string 5 or 6 chapters together that are sad because somebody's going to shoot themselves after, not good. So then the Post-its allowed you to say, okay, happy, sad. Around. So you saw a flow. You're like, all right, I need to work on that chapter because that chapter only has 3 pages. So we really need to flesh out some stuff there.
You can't count that in your 15, by the way. It only has 3 pages, not a chapter.
It wasn't 3 pages by the time I was done the
As
weekend.
James Patterson, it's a chapter.
Yes. Well, that's true.
Right.
So it was your structure. It was like a visual representation of the book so you could move it around wherever
everybody
you needed and really
thought it was amazing because we had heard it, but not actually seen it.
Did everybody do that? Did everybody there do that?
No, but they came into my room and took a picture and they were like, we're going to do that later because that's pretty amazing.
Shelly was hosting a Post-it party.
So now the Post-its are overlooking the lake and they are on the wall near my desk. It was unbelievable.
I think I need to do that.
You do?
I need to do kind of like a chapter outline.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant the good way or the...
Well, that too.
Well, the right away. I mean, the retreat.
The retreat.
Traveling away would
I think doing a retreat with
too.
you guys would be great. But I also think I need to do kind of an outline, and that might be a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think holding yourself accountable, I booked that in the fall.
Yeah.
So
and you wanted to get the most out of it. You were trying.
I booked it in the fall.
Yep.
Life did not go according to plan. Mm-hmm. And I did not have stuff done for that retreat.
That you wanted to have done.
I wanted to have done. But what I got out of it was even more than I ever expected to get out of it.
Like what else?
Meaning I was supposed to have everything put together and doing some final editing. Well, then life happens and big things like losing my brother and all of these things have happened that put a stop to everything. Getting out of bed and functioning and going to work, I couldn't multitask anything.
Yeah.
So I had months just before the writing retreat that I didn't get anything done. So I felt like I was going with nothing.
Right.
But when I came back, I never expected to bang out 7 chapters.
That's great.
Never.
Right.
So I am going to book another one. So we need to find one. Dawn is also going to book another one probably the same time next year. Probably the same area, Topsail Island. She's working on actually purchasing a home on the beach so that she can do this as her job.
Oh, great.
Live there and continue to have retreats for all sorts
artists.
of creatives and artists.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Around how much? Like what do people need to budget?
So that's why, too, that I thought this was crazy because I look at things as if it's a tuition. I looked at this as a tuition. I didn't look at it as a vacation. I looked at it as a tuition. Yeah. It was all-inclusive with food, and it was like $700.
And it was
with my flight.
Per day?
No. With your flight?
Total?
No, total, plus my flight.
Oh, plus your flight.
So under $1,000. Wow.
And for how many nights?
4 Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, 4 nights.
4 nights.
4 nights.
Right, that's completely reasonable for your accommodations and your food.
Yeah, I've paid $1,000 for a class that's 1 day.
Right, right.
So 4 days.
So you definitely got your money's worth.
Definitely got my money's worth, for sure.
So how would you say this is different than you going to the cabin for a weekend?
Because the cabin is still mine. So
she still needs to cook and do
I still need to cook. And do the dishes. I still need to, at the cabin this time of year, I need to mow the lawn. Right. I need to start the garden.
There's other things.
There's zero accountability.
So what if you went, yes, she said. So then what if you went, to a little hotel in Maine by yourself? Would do you think that would be the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be.
No, I think it would be the same thing.
But also you have your editor right there on call, basically, for when you have your writer's block or when you have a few other people doing the same thing, which always motivates you to kind of stay on track.
And the accountability, that's what we spoke about. Now we Skype every 2 weeks versus we could go a month, 2 months without Skyping.
Yeah.
Because I would say, oh, not ready yet, not ready yet. Now it's every 2 weeks.
Regardless.
It's already booked? You have a call with Dawn?
We're booked. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So when are we leaving?
Yeah.
Where are we booking?
Well,
Where are we going?
We could do like the writer's block retreat. We could have a retreat.
We
Wait,
could.
but then that means we have to. Does that mean we have to? Well, we don't want us me cooking.
I can cook, Deb. I love to cook.
Yeah.
But then again,
things.
maybe that's the whole point. Then,
But I'm
you
not
can't
looking
be
for that
cooking.
yet. I need
Right.
we need the
We
retreat.
need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Brenda went to a lake. Somebody's something. And
Oh, don't try to invent a cheap way out of this. Just pay the $700 and move on.
No, I was busy that weekend. I was supposed to go with her
Yes,
originally.
you were.
But I ended up having a conflict, so I couldn't go.
For what? A writer's retreat?
I was planning on going.
She was planning on coming with me to Topsail Island.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
When we first found out about it in
Yep.
the fall.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was like, Deb, are you going to book? Are you going to book? Are you going to book? And then Christmas came and went. And then I'm like, I'm booking.
Right.
Now-
Well,
Done it.
you pulled the trigger. You
Done.
said, I'm doing it.
Doing
Well,
it.
and something else came up.
Yes.
Which we're going to talk
It's
about.
okay.
On
We're
another
not
show.
upset with you.
But also
Yes.
interesting
Writing
to meet
related.
all the other people that went too. So you had 5 other people that went. One woman flew in from California who has written a novel and several books.
Are they published?
Published.
Okay.
Yes. 3 of the women were within a 3-hour drive, North Carolina area. It was ages from 45 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, you had all that, and other people had things to bring to the table too. You always learn from the students as well,
Right.
And now, so I really have 7 people that are now
You
added
can bounce
to my
some
circle.
ideas off of, which would be different than if you just went and rented a
Now,
hotel
if
room.
you incorporate your book into a business or make an LLC of some kind, the entire trip is a tax write-off.
Correct.
And as long as you get the book out within 3 years and you show some sort of profit, you could have 3 years of tax loss. I'm just throwing that out there.
I like a
Something
little
that
tax
I've heard.
loss.
We should probably have an
Hope Karen's
accountant
not
on at
listening.
some point to go.
We should have an
through the-
accountant on our
to
show.
go through the tax benefits
Oh, we'll
of
have
being
Karen
an author.
come on.
Yeah, we could.
We
The
could
three
have
of us.
Karen come on.
3 of us have the same accountant.
Well, there you go.
There's certain things I got to keep secret from her, though. I don't know if I want to have,
Have her here
in
live.
the interest of full
I hope
disclosure,
she's not listening as we
conversations with her.
Yes,
Oh, Lord. So you highly recommend this?
I
then?
highly recommend a writer's retreat.
Excellent. Well,
It
Shell,
pushes you forward.
yeah, it sounds like it took all the distractions away and got you writing.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Shelly, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And thank you for listening. Please be sure to check us out next week and check out the Writer's Block NH Facebook and the Writer's Block podcast on your favorite podcast catcher. If you'd like to hear this episode again or share it with a friend, you can head on over to the UnitedPodcastNetwork.tv. That's UnitedPodcastNetwork.tv. Thank you for listening, and we hope to inspire and empower you to tell your story.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.